Hey guys! So I thought I'd do a quick little video on the kind of snacks that I feed my kids that I feel are somewhat nutritious. On this video blog, I do have some things that contain peanut butter. So if your kid is allergic to peanut butter or peanuts of that nature, it's probably not going to work out for you. But these are just some healthy snack ideas when you're at the grocery store that are so easy to pick up, and maybe things you haven't thought of before or thought to have your kids try. And I'm really big on getting your kids to try things early on, and kind of avoiding like the snack junk food aisle and starting out on the right foot. So if you're a new mom, this is probably going to be super helpful and more helpful, compared to the mom, I say mom, but the parents who, have already established junk food habits. Those might be hard to break, not unreachable, can be done. But anyways, I have some things written up. I'm going to hold them up. Couple of recipes, whatever. And I thought this would just be a fun little video to do. Don't want to blind anybody. So anyways, the first thing is all things that you can dip in peanut butter. Apples, bananas, celery, toast, and crackers. I feel like sometimes, you're like, hey, you want an apple? And they're like, no. And I'm like, you want to dip it in some peanut butter? And they're like, ooh, yeah, that sounds good, Mom. Can you cut it up? So, anything to get my kids juiced and jazzed about eating a vegetable, eating fruit. They already do love those things, but if I just don't feel like going in the kitchen and making something spectacular, I will pull some of these out of my hat and I will dip them in peanut butter for the kids, which is so fun. Like a little platter with a little peanut butter in the middle, and they can dip it themselves. Super, super, super fun. The second thing I have is, now, start this early on. Or if you have bad habits that you're trying to break with your kid, kind of leave this as an option, and I didn't put every vegetable on here. Every kid is different, but a vegetable platter, my kids like cucumbers and celery and carrots and bell peppers of all colors, more red, yellow, orange, broccoli. They love cauliflower, and they love, I don't know, they really just love all vegetables. So if you can if you can go to the market or your fruit stand or whatever, your vegetable stand, farmer's market, anything, and you can buy a plethora of these vegetables, and when you get home, cut them all up, put them in Ziploc bags, and have them ready to go. And then when your kid, or you too, if you or your kid or somebody is coming over and you're having a play date, leave that out on the table, and more than likely the kids are going to go for it. They get really jazzed about that kind of stuff. And when you make things pretty, kids are more tempted to eat it, and you don't have to junk it up. You don't have to junk up your vegetables with, yucky stuff. You just put them out raw, and, some ranch dip or whatever dip you guys prefer in your house, onion dip, vegetable dip, anything you want, Italian dressing. Leave it out, and you guys can munch on it for a few hours. Anything that doesn't get eaten, you can put right back in the fridge and for another day. And vegetables tend to have a long shelf life, so I think that's really cool. Now, you can't do any of this with frozen vegetables, although you can't really freeze celery and cucumbers. It'd be kind of weird, but I don't recommend frozen vegetables. This is all fresh from the produce stand or your local grocery store. So the vegetable platter is a huge success in this house, and it always has been, and it's super yummy. And I know when I was a kid, I loved that kind of stuff, at a party and whatever. Ready to go snacks. These are the snacks, if you are leaving the house or you're going to the grocery store or you're picking your kids up from school and they're always starving, you can bring this with you. Yogurt, or Go-Gurt, that's always good. Pickles, my kids love pickles. They're not always the most nutritious, but it's still a vegetable, and vinegar is really good for you. And one tip that I do have is that if you do have a bellyache, you or your kids, I always give them a pickle, and the vinegar really helps settle a stomach or nausea. So if you are pregnant, pickles do help with that. A little tip, I love vinegar. I'm obsessed with vinegar. Not that I drink vinegar, but I'll do a video on it. So anyways, what else I have on here is, I can't read backwards, is string cheese and blueberries and cottage cheese. They even have cottage cheese in their single cups, and you can have like plastic spoons, you know, bananas and deli meat. One thing that we do like to do is we do like to roll the deli meat up in string cheese. That is super, super good. It's super easy. And if I'm like, oh my God, we gotta go. And I like, these are the snacks I go to, and I just kind of fill a, like a little lunchbox that we have, and I just, with a couple of juice boxes and or water bottles, and I hightail it to the car and off we go. So these are just really yummy, quick snacks. Cheap, really cheap snacks. Really affordable and healthy. One of the most prevalent snacks in this house is popcorn. I used to pop bags and bags and bags and bags of popcorn like all the time. And I take popcorn with me if we're going to the zoo or the aquarium or Disney World or on a road trip. Like I'm always like popping popcorn and then putting it in those brown paper sacks, and then, you know, like rolling it up and tucking it in the bag or whatever, because my kids love popcorn. But then I heard somewhere that, you know, the carcinogens or whatever in the bag are really, there's like toxins in the bag. So I kind of was like, well, okay, well, we eat a lot of popcorn, so I scratched that idea. So now I don't buy that. But I do have a popcorn maker that I got for Christmas a few years back, because my husband and I love popcorn too, and we kind of like get all like crafty with it, and we get bold and daring, and we add flavors to it and stuff. But I have discovered the best recipe for like the best popcorn ever. You're just gonna like die when I tell you this, because it's so like, you're gonna be like, why didn't I think of that? Okay, so my homemade popcorn. Half a cup of kernels you put in your popcorn maker, or you can put it on a pot in the stove, like a big pot on the stove, and you just shake it. You know, you don't necessarily have to go out and buy a popcorn maker. 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Coconut oil is kind of an investment, but if you go to like TJ Maxx or Marshall's or Ross, like you can buy coconut oil there. And I get my coconut oil from Trader Joe's. It's really inexpensive there. If you have a Trader Joe's, I recommend going in there. It is really good, healthy food that costs very little. Like, it's so surprising. It's not like the Fresh Market and Whole Foods where it's just unreachably expensive. Trader Joe's is really cool, how affordable it is. So anyways, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, a dash of salt and butter. Now, I do prefer real butter on my popcorn, but not like a whole lot of it. I'm not like a big fan of that buttery taste, just like a little bit for flavor. But something really disgusting is the spray butter from like, I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. I know it's really gross and it's really not good for you, but if you do it in moderation, it's really okay, you know. Either way, it's way better than a bag of potato chips, like hands down. So a little bit of that spray butter can go a long way, and this recipe for the popcorn is outstanding. Like, you'll just love using coconut oil for your popcorn. It is the most delicious thing ever. So anyways, those are a few things that I have that I use and that I buy and all of this stuff. I do go to my local grocery store / you know, like farm stand and all that. I do that probably 2 times a week, sometimes 3, depending on what has, you know, transpired, maybe play dates or, you know, whatever. But I do spend a lot of money at my fruit stand, and I do spend a lot of money at the produce section of my grocery store, but I don't spend a lot of money on junk food, so I think it kind of balances itself out. Anyways, I really hope you liked this video. If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that red button, and you know, leave your comments down below. If you guys have things that you buy or things that you love or your kids love that are healthy, go ahead and leave those down below. I would love to read them and get ideas for myself, because sometimes I feel a little, you know, redundant. So anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you guys again.